Gecko! Camera's not working. Can you take over this time? Have you ever built a custom park in Skate 3, but you're dissatisfied with how flat and uniform the grassy hills look? Then this is the tutorial for you. What's up, Getcotians? And for those of you who don't know me, my name is Getcoda, and today I'm going to be showing you how to master realistic hills in Skate 3. So grab your controllers and let's dive right in. But first, let's take a look at an example I've already whipped up for you. As you can see, there's no park built yet, but that'll be a video for another day. But take a look at the hills and see how they seem to be flowing naturally. That is what I'm going to be teaching you to make today. First things first. When it comes to creating realistic hills, it's all about the angles. You want to make sure that the slopes of your hill are gradual and not too abrupt. There is also the organic shape to the hills as well. And to achieve this, I'm going to show you a little trick on how to get angles and shapes just like this. Let's start with the blank park and then navigate to the plaza terrain and select a grass slope. We'll start with a shallow incline and place it. Now let's duplicate it, spin it around, and snap it to our first piece. Next we'll grab the grass corner slope and place it in a couple of corners. Then we'll grab the grass hip piece and place it in the other corners. And as you can see, now we have a natural looking hill. And that's it. We're all done. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. Oh, wait, there's more. Now that we have this arrangement, we can duplicate it and create different arrangements by orienting the different slopes in various patterns. As you can see here, I've made one arrangement of each configuration. I've even made some with the flat grass pieces for the center. Now that we've made these arrangements in the shallow slopes, we'll do the next size up. There. Whew. That was a lot of setup. But trust me, it's gonna be worth it. With each arrangement being completely different, we now have the tools to create the feeling of natural looking slopes. Now we just gotta take our arrangements and place them around the area. Make sure your snapping and collision is turned off. Orient your arrangements by angling them in seemingly arbitrary directions, alternating between the shallow and steep slopes to add to the randomness of the shapes. Make sure your slopes intersect enough through each other, or you'll catch the edge of the polygons as you skate over them. Another key aspect of realistic hills is incorporating the transitions. By adding smooth transition between each arrangement, you can create a more organic flow and enhance the overall experience and immersion of your park. Once you really start to grok the process, you can begin selecting and placing your arrangements more strategically. Now this method can be kind of tedious and difficult and sometimes even hair-pullingly frustrating without the merge glitch, but with a little patience and a clever wit, it's definitely doable. There, now that you've built your realistic hill, it's time to test it out. Hop on your skateboard and start riding around the slopes. Pay attention to how your board reacts and make any necessary adjustments to ensure a smooth ride. If you don't have access to merge glitch, you may find that you can't cover all the edges of your polygons. Or maybe you do got merge, but the shape that you're trying to make just won't cover quite right. I feel the frustration, Getcushion, but here's a little cheat that you can do to cover it up, and that is with some foliage. Something I like to do is cover up my problem areas by countersinking a fall tree so that just the branches are poking out of the ground. Not only does this hide your horrible mistakes, but it can make some kind of sense to the subject matter of the issue. Like, duh, did you think that you could skate through a bush without bailing? Pfft, idiot. Lol. Speaking of foliage, it makes a great tool for hiding the boundaries of your hills, as well as other methods like using walls, buildings, or gates to sequester your skaters in your park. Bonus content! Did you ever come across a community-made custom park and you notice how natural the foliage looked? Well, here's some tips for doing exactly just that. Tip number 1. Coloring your foliage by just slightly different shades will add a huge amount of depth to the detail in the scenery. You can give the impression that it's not just a bunch of the same homogeneous tree dotting your park. When you go out into the woods in real life, you'll notice how even the same breeds of trees aren't always the exact same color. So why should it be any different in your park? Mess around with the color palette and find out what works best for you. Me personally, my favorite is to use this shade of purple because it really gives off a more natural looking dullness that one sees in the grittiness of real life, versus the blinding brightness of just using the white shade. Tip number 2. Orienting the positions of the trees in different angles will also really bring out the realism in your scenery. Unless you go to some park where they plant trees in deliberately straight patterns, you probably won't see that so much in the woods. Usually you'll see trees at different heights, different angles. Maybe you'll see one leaning way over because it's dying or it's on a slope and it just can't hold its own weight at that angle anymore. If you keep this in mind while you place your foliage, your scenery will end up looking amazeballs. Tip number 3. If you happen to have vantage points at the right angle, you may be able to tell where the edge of your map is quite blatantly. You've created a perimeter, but it's still obviously a perimeter. If you have some extra terrain meter after prettying up your park, give it some depth by taking some foliage or buildings or whatever and extend it out a little ways away from the park. This will add to the depth of view and give off the impression that the map is bigger than it is. Remember, practice makes perfect, right? So don't get discouraged if it takes a few tries to get it just right. Keep experimenting and tweaking your custom park until you achieve that desired level of realism. So there you have it, a quick tutorial on mastering realistic hills and Skate 3 custom parks. Got a tutorial you'd like me to make? Got a park you want me to showcase? Maybe a park building challenge you'd like to see me pull off? Or maybe you just want to tell me your thoughts on this video? Give me the biz in the comments. I love chatting with my Getcotians. Anyway, I hope you found this useful and feeling inspired to create your own amazing parks. If it did, feel free to smash them buttons down below. Didn't like it at all? Well, I don't know what to tell you, bud. Wish I could be more help. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Check out my channel for more Skate 3 tutorials, park showcases, and other Gecko Man vids. And as always, stay steezy, Getcotians. Peace.